Hello, guys, and welcome to the TnF Gaming Podcast, news podcast. This is Travis, and as always, to my right, left, everywhere, VTM.
Hello.
So we have a few news topics, 4 in total. Our first news topic really came in clutch as it got announced today, being February 24th, 2020, if you're listening in the future. We're going to roll right into that one. We have, first off, before we roll into it, we do have game reviews coming. Those are coming soonish, hopefully within the next week. We have a couple on the docket, actually maybe even 3 on the docket because there's something I'm working on potentially coming up, so that's something to look forward to if you care about that kind of shit. Anyway.
Yeah, once we start, it won't stop. It's going to be like diarrhea. It's just going to keep going.
Yeah. So the first news topic we have today is the Xbox Series X. Microsoft has revealed more of the specifications about their next generation console. It seems that it will include 12 teraflops, fun word, of GPU performance, which is, according to, I think, The Verge, is twice what's available on Xbox One X and 8 times the original Xbox One. And this type of performance puts the Xbox Series X beyond most mid-range graphics cards from AMD and Nvidia. So Phil Spencer put out a statement saying that Xbox Series X delivers a true generational leap in processing and graphics power with cutting-edge techniques, results in higher frame rates, larger, more sophisticated game worlds, and an immersive experience unlike anything seen in console gaming. Phil Spencer loves to talk. I love Phil. He looks like a crook. That's probably why I like him. He really does. I'm always like, man, this guy seems like he's probably pretty cool, but if you told me he was an asshole, I would believe you.
He looks like the living embodiment of I'm just going to take your money.
Yeah, he's that guy. It's the eyes.
Yeah.
It's the eyes. I do enjoy
I mean,
it.
hey, Xbox is pretty much like, our games are going to look pretty.
Pretty. Yeah, well, for sure. I hope, like, Hellblade 2 being one of those games that are going to be coming out, I hope that they do some more with that and don't just make the first half of the game opening a door simulator, please. That's all I ask.
I mean, if their games just look like real people, I don't mind. I like my movies to be playable.
Yeah, but only if the game's good. Otherwise, it's just a pretty piece of shit.
Yeah.
Think Order 1886.
I don't want to.
Beautiful looking game. Nothing. Just nothing.
Nothing underneath.
Just nothing. Graphics aren't everything. I love myself a good graphics. If you mix amazing gameplay and amazing story with great graphics, you got yourself rolling. But graphics are on their own aren't gonna get anything done.
So really, they're like, our next Halo is gonna be so realistic, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you won't even believe.
Master Chief is just gonna shoot out of the screen and you're gonna die. That's basically what they're saying.
It's kind of like what I said last time. Like, they're getting closer to just making games look like The Lion King. Just realistic as shit.
What was that movie? What was it with? I can't remember his name. But the movie's called Gamer.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, Gerard Butler. That's it. Yeah, where you're like in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give us that.
That's us. Except unless it's a war game, and then I'm out.
Call of Duty. Make everything sound realistic.
Yeah. So Microsoft has previously revealed hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing and variable rate shading. Rather than spending GPU cycles uniformly to every single pixel on the screen. It's just a lot of technical mumbo jumbo, baby. And it can prioritize individual effects on specific game characters or important environmental objects.
More textures, better stuff.
Yeah. No Fallout 76, but it's still Fallout 76 because Bethesda. This technique results in more stable frame rates and higher resolution with no impact on the final image quality. So they're looking for the big pretty.
I will believe it when I see it, but I like what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft. I mean, they have the money to do whatever they want. They just gotta do that, put it in there, and their consoles being powerful has never been into question. They're always up to what the consoles can do, and they can do it. It's just everything around that they have to use that technology and actually build off of that and build the foundations of gaming. And I think having Ninja Theory and having Obsidian hopefully will help them in that, along with other people. I don't know, was Rare have Rare make a game that's worth a shit. Yeah, I know Sea of Thieves is better now, but can you have Rare make a game worth a shit from the beginning instead of putting out a game that has no goddamn content and be like, okay, I can go on a rant on games as a service. We were gonna do games as a service as a topic one time because I'm fed up with the shit between Anthem and Sea of Thieves where they put out a game that has nothing in it and they're like, well, more is coming, and it's like, but I'm done playing it now. Fuck your more is coming. Anyway, sorry, I went on a rant.
Xbox talking that good shit like our console's gonna look good.
Yeah.
Like our games are gonna look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes me wonder how much this thing is gonna cost too.
Yeah, that is a thing. But Xbox can afford that. But like I said, the Xbox came out $100 more than the PS4 with the Xbox One. But they have the mandatory Kinect, which they won't do this time. That really fucked them from the beginning.
They're saying good things, and we know that Ninja Theory is gonna drop Hellblade 2. But other than that, like, they still haven't, like, they're still sticking to their guns of no exclusives, really.
No exclusives, yeah. But like, they want to put it on
the
PC.
Only draw is, like, maybe games will look better on the Xbox than PlayStation. That's their only draw for now.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at games like Death Stranding, and it's really PlayStation can do more with what they're doing than what you think.
Yeah.
But not everybody's Kojima.
Well, like, I know one of the more talked about, like, shared games between Xbox and PlayStation, Metal Gear Solid 5, people said that Metal Gear Solid 5 looked way better on Xbox than it did PlayStation. So it's like, well, there's a case where, like, Xbox probably won out.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's a shared game. Like, exclusives still make a console.
Yes. And that's what I'm hoping, like, with Obsidian. Sure, they had to pull a Mixer, and it's also Microsoft, and start buying streamers and buying companies to actually start making those games to try to do it, because really all they could pull out of their ass that was worth a shit was, we're going to make another Halo game and we're going to make another Gears game, and they have to do more than just that. You know, I want to play the next Gears game, even though the last one pissed me off, even though it was everyone's fucking favorite. Well, guess what? Not mine! Anyway.
Shitty games be shitty, bro.
It wasn't shitty. It was just disappointing.
That's even worse than a shitty game.
Yeah. But they need to do more with that. And like I said, I hope Ninja Theory and Obsidian is able to do that, along with their other game companies. Let Rare make something that's worth a shit. It's been a while, Rare.
Microsoft's just been a lot of hope in ninjas lately.
Yeah. So also the Xbox Series X will include a custom-designed CPU based on AMD's Zen 2 Radeon RDNA2 architecture. Microsoft is also using NVMe SSD on the Xbox Series X. I understand most people are not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about, but here we are.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, which promises to boost load times, and nearly every aspect of playing the game will improve. Now, that's I mean, they have to do their marketing mumbo jumbo.
I will believe it when I see it.
And we're used to that. They always go to E3 a lot of times. Well, in the past, they had gone to E3 and announced all this stuff, and he would just be talking. You're just like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever, Phil. I love you and everything. Nice eyes, but the Xbox Series X will also support 8K gaming and frame rates of up to 120 FPS in games, and Microsoft says it has partnered with HDMI forum and TV manufacturers to enable auto low latency mode and variable refresh rate on the Series X as part of its HDMI 2.1 mumbo blah 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 smooth visuals.
We're already moving on to 8K. I still haven't even gotten over 4K yet.
Yeah. There are the Xbox.
Who makes 8K TVs? That's the real question.
It's coming.
Like, what?
Probably.
How are they making this? Like, they're talking about 8K. I've never even heard of an 8K TV. Like, where are they getting? They don't even make like, most shows don't even get 4K treatment. Like, what the hell? How can they be like, oh, it's 8K? What did you test this on?
Plug the Xbox.
Let me see the facts. I want the facts.
Plug the Xbox into your computer, I guess. So one of the big features that Xbox Series X will be backwards compatible, it seems like, from the original Xbox all the way up through.
See, at least Xbox understands that people want backwards compatibility. PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. I don't need to. And to our knowledge, with PlayStation, we know it's at least PS4, which really that's my entire library. So I'm tired. I'm fine with that.
I'm upset. That means I can't play my Metal Gear Solid collection.
Well, we don't know anything else yet. We just know that it's for sure PS4.
I hope it goes through all of them.
Yeah.
Please. I mean, they have most of their library on, like, digital anyways.
Yeah. And one of the biggest features, or not one of the biggest, one of the last features they talked about was being able to
put drinks inside of their fridge.
Can you imagine?
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So fans who buy Cyberpunk 2077 on the Xbox One will receive the Xbox Series X upgrade free of charge as soon as it's ready. CD Projekt Red tweeted out that gamers should never be forced to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades.
Well, they wouldn't be receiving the same game twice if it's backwards compatible. They could just play their new one on...
Correct, but I think what that's saying is they're going to upgrade it for that, and then they'll give you the upgraded version of that free of charge.
Cool.
But CD Projekt Red's a good company, so...
So, are they saying that the Xbox will be releasing soon then? Like,
no, I think it's just them, like, we're going to work on an upgraded for the next-gen consoles for Cyberpunk.
Because I saw that earlier, and I was wondering, like, are they saying that, like, Xbox would be releasing soon for them to make an upgraded version?
Yeah. What the exact quote is, owners of Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One will receive Xbox Series X upgrade for free when available. Okay. So I think they're just they haven't done anything with that. It's always going to be holiday this year. So that's our Xbox news. That's the stuff. I know it's a lot of technical mumbo jumbo, and let me tell you something. I didn't even understand all of it. But I pass along the news. That way, if you're some nerd, you'll be like, wow, I can't believe these stupid assholes don't know all this fancy-dancy tech talk shit. But anyway, moving on. So, ya boy Ninja wants Twitch.
An employee of a Microsoft company.
Yeah, exactly.
Continuing with this Microsoft news, you know?
He was in the news recently for talking shit to people who use the phrase, it's just a game.
Talking straight out of his ass.
Yeah, I do like... I mean, I can't say I've never been frustrated as somebody who's streamed a lot. When I get mad at like a hard game and somebody just says, calm down, it's just a game. First off, calm down is way worse than telling me it's just a game.
Let's get through his comment before we go on.
Don't you tell me! Don't tell me!
I have something to say about it. Like,
okay, I will read the one that's most ridiculous. There was a clip of him talking about people who say it's just a game during a live stream, and that clip is said, imagine telling LeBron James, Tom Brady, that when they're pissed off after losing a game, that it's just a game. Like, are you kidding me? You are so stupid. It's the competitive nature, bro. It's about respect, bro.
Bro.
Fucking Matt Riddle. It's about pride. It's so much bigger than a fucking video game. Ninja then described people who use the excuse "it's just a game" as horrible, lazy human beings. Yeah.
So, one, to compare games to basketball or football, it's kind of a stretch. Well, it's kind of a stretch depending on what you're talking.
Yeah, I mean, sports game. I mean, the gamers make ESPN on the shit now, so it's kind of become its own sport. But at the same time, those are competitive gamers. Like, they should be the ones that are very competitive. That's them. Not everyone is them.
And again, at the end of the day, like, it is just a game. Like, it's just pixels on a screen. Like, you can get frustrated because, like, someone keeps teabagging you after they kill you. Like, I get it, because my wife is one of these people that tells me it's just a game. Like, I rage at Call of Duty because I know I'm good, but, like, I just rage because I'm an angry person. And she's like, it's just a game. But, like, I don't know. I see where he's coming from in the whole competitive nature thing.
Yeah, for sure. The issue isn't him.
But to call people out who do say it is kind of. It's like if I were to call him out for saying "bro," like, bro. Only weak people use the word "bro" because "bro" is just a filler word for like weak-minded people. Like, get out of here. Like, let people say what they want to say.
Yeah, it's just. I do understand where he's coming from the competitive side. The issue is he's not talking from a competitive side. He's saying anyone who doesn't... Because there's this other quote where he says, the phrase "it's just a game" is such a weak mindset. You're okay with what happened losing. Imperfection of a craft. When you stop getting angry after losing, you've lost twice.
Well, normally the people who say it's just a game are the people who aren't raging.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not one to talk on this. I rage all the time. I have broken many of controllers. And I understand that I get mad. But if I go watch somebody else play a game and they die, and I understand I'm also terrible at multiplayer games. I don't really get mad at multiplayer games because I know I'm going to die.
Yeah.
It's just how I am. But if I go to watch somebody else's stream, I'm not going to be like, why aren't you throwing your shit because you died in Dark Souls or because you died in this game? Why aren't you losing your shit? What are you, some bitch because you don't rage? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Makes sense.
People react to games how they're going to react.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just think of it as just a game. Like, that's it. Like they're playing the game to enjoy it, most likely.
Yeah.
And some of us play games to be competitive. Like, that's where you get your multiplayer aspect.
Yeah. But to call all people who don't get mad when they die horrible, lazy humans.
Yeah.
Is just, I think that makes you a worse human than
if they're lazy humans, why are they playing the game to begin with?
Yeah. You know? Why are they horrible? Because they don't get mad. If anything, they're prolonging their life. I'm the one's going to die sooner. Yeah. I'm always, not recently, but I've had my fair share of run-ins with Kingdom Hearts and Cuphead. Not really Sekiro, shockingly enough. I don't think I got that mad at that game because I knew what I was getting into. I
got madder at Crash Bandicoot than I did at Sekiro.
Fucking Crash.
Yeah.
But yeah, every gamer is gonna have their own mindset, and what they want to, how they want a game. You don't get to tell somebody that they must rage when they die in a multiplayer game because not everybody's at that level. Not everyone is a fucking pro gamer.
Yeah.
So if you want to say anyone who's a pro, who doesn't get mad when they die, lost twice, fine. But don't tell the random dude that comes home from fucking work that's just trying to play the game to take a load off that if he doesn't get mad that he dies, that he's a piece of shit. Like, that's stupid. Yeah. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Obviously, people have pushed back against it. Now people are, this is what's wrong with video. The normal people. This is what's wrong with video games. I'm like, listen, guys. I know Ninja's popular. They say he's worth like $17 million last year, but like, he doesn't speak for everyone.
No, he spoke out of his ass, and this is what happens.
He spoke as a competitive gamer. The issue is you grouped all these people who just casually game. There's some people that may only play 1 or 2 games a year.
He probably went off because someone told him that it's just a game when he was raging.
Oh, I'm sure that's where
Like I said, like my wife says it to me, and it kind of drives me up the wall. Like it makes me really mad when she says it.
Yeah.
Like I understand it's just a game, but I'm also competitive.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm sure that's what happened. He said just a game. He went on a rant, but he attacked gamers as a whole.
Yeah, like,
You just can't do that. Attack that one person, sure. If you want to tell that one person to fuck off, dude, I've been there.
Yeah.
But to attack all gamers, to say that all gamers are pieces of shit if they don't get mad when they die in a multiplayer game, that's just not how you should go about it. But that's just two people's opinions on Ninja. The Ninja, not the Blender, the streamer. Maybe the Blender also. Anyway, we are moving on. So our next two topics are both they're like brothers. They're related. So we're gonna start off with GeForce Now. So we're gonna start off with anybody who doesn't know what cloud gaming is. Cloud gaming is a method of playing video games that is done using remote hardware. This is from Digital Trends. Rather than downloading a game onto your system or installing it via physical media and playing it locally, cloud gaming relies on internet streaming to deliver games on your device of choice, console, television, mobile phone, or computer, and not relying on its own internal hardware to power the game. As a result, games incapable of running locally on a system can easily run via cloud gaming. Cloud gaming, on the flip side, needs really good internet, which I don't fucking have. So I'm already out on the cloud gaming stuff. But it needs good internet to actually run, because none of the information, including save data, is stored on the system you're using, but is instead stored remotely. And that only makes it less ideal for areas with spotty connections. Pointing at myself. So cloud gaming in most cases requires a subscription service, but games must be purchased on top of that fee.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a breakdown of cloud gaming before we get into these topics, in case you were wondering or weren't sure what cloud gaming was. Now on to it. So games developers or publishers have been pulling out of GeForce Now's cloud gaming. They had a beta. I think the beta had been going on since 2017. I think is what I read. But Activision had recently pulled out, and we'll get into that in a bit. But even more recently, Bethesda, our boys, pulled out of GeForce Now's service. So on an NVIDIA forum, a staff member from NVIDIA announced that the platform has already started removing Bethesda Software's titles from its library. They include major titles like Skyrim, several Fallout installments, and The Elder Scrolls V. The only Bethesda game that's staying on the service, and everybody, I'm so sorry, is Wolfenstein Youngblood. Because even Bethesda's like, we can leave that one, it's not even that good. That would have been funny if they're like, the only game staying on that service, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Fallout 76. You can keep those. That'd been hilarious. GeForce Now will drop the other Wolfenstein installments as well. I don't know if that means it's going to drop it on air, or if they're just dropping them entirely, because it would be hilarious if it was just Youngblood.
No one's playing Youngblood, so they're just going to leave it there.
Yeah. So, NVIDIA, GeForce's general manager, Phil Eisler, put out this statement saying, as we approach a paid service, some publishers may choose to remove games before the trial period ends. Ultimately, they maintain control over their content and decide whether the game you purchase includes streaming on GeForce Now. Meanwhile, others will bring games back as they continue to realize GeForce Now's value. As the transition period comes to completion, game removal should be few and far between, with new games added to GeForce Now each week. So, that leads us to Activision. The Activision one was a weird one when they pulled out, because, I mean, they're Activision to begin with, so you're already pretty fucking wary of everything they do.
Yeah.
But GeForce Now also lost their library of 20 Activision and Blizzard games because of, as Nvidia put it, a misunderstanding over permission to continue offering them once the cloud gaming services left beta period. And there's a weird thing about this, and I think that's why a lot of people have left the Nvidia service. But Nvidia put out a statement saying Activision Blizzard has been a fantastic partner during the GeForce Now beta, which we took to include the free trial period for our founders membership. Recognizing the misunderstanding, we removed their games from our service. So basically, they should have been removed to begin with because they never agreed to be in GeForce Now. They just didn't do it. So according to an article from Bloomberg, they were the first ones to report on it. Activision wanted to negotiate a new commercial agreement before Nvidia could serve up the games, and Nvidia had been clear that its business model is to not have commercial agreements with game publishers. Instead, it wants to let gamers buy their games on existing platforms such as Steam, Epic, Uplay, etc. And I have no issue with that. Like, they don't want to, but publishers don't like that because it only gives the publishers the same amount of money they have normally. So they want to do those commercials to make more money off of it. Nvidia said no, so the publisher said fuck off. So that's why an Activision spokesperson told The Verge that there was no commercial agreement like that in place, and said that right now we are focused on the work between Activision Blizzard and YouTube and Google Cloud specifically. So, like I said, Nvidia should have pulled the Activision games before its launch, like they did with Rockstar Games and Square Enix and Capcom. So it's a weird one because a lot of games are pulling out or not joining because they want to do that commercial, that no commercial. They want to do the commercial agreement, and Nvidia's like no, and so all these companies are saying fuck off. So you have big companies like Rockstar and Square Enix and Capcom and Activision and Bethesda being like, we're not going to be a part of it. So really, it almost seems like GeForce Now is going to have almost no games for now.
They'll be right up there with Google.
Right up there with Google. But we'll get into that in a second. But what do you think of the GeForce Now thing and how everybody's pulling out?
At the end of the day, everyone just wants more money. So they're like, we can't make that much money on this, so we're just going to leave.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it is. Like, it's sad for GeForce because it seems like they're trying, but like at the end of the day, they're not willing to give over more money towards these companies.
Yeah, I can almost respect that they're like, we want to put the focus on the gamers, not your wallet, and everybody's like, nah, our wallet. And it's kind of weird with Capcom doing it because Capcom has been on fire, but unless you count Street Fighter V, which has been a dumpster fire. But to be fair, it's been a dumpster fire for like years. But anyway. But yeah, that is GeForce Now. I hope that they're able to pull it out because I don't see where GeForce Now compared to other things we're going to get into has really that bad. It looks like they're trying to do good things, but these companies want stuff from them that are just knocking. They're like, we don't want to give you no commercial deal, but they want the commercial deal so they can make more money out of it. And now Activision is focusing on their Google partnership. VTM.
So, speaking of Google, so their system, the Stadia, has been running into a hell of a roadblock. Like, they just keep running into roadblock after roadblock. And it's kind of sad because they're kind of the first ones to try this whole streaming thing. It's like every other streaming system, like GeForce or what was the other one?
It was GeForce and the other one. Xbox Cloud. Xbox.
Yeah, xCloud.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like they're like seeing what Stadia is doing and they're like trying to steer clear, but GeForce is having a issue of their own.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, pretty much recently, Stadia's been getting a bunch of criticisms for their games, like them not having games in general. Even though, like, at the beginning of the year, they had announced that they would be adding like 120 games, but it seems like that's not going to happen now. And like the games that they have announced, they're all a bunch of like they're all phone game type games, like something that should definitely be free.
Yep.
And they're just games that no one wants to play. Like they're just crappy tower defense games, like and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, phone games. It's like, why would someone want to buy your like hardware or anything like that just to play it?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they have to pay a subscription, because now like Stadia's been out for 3 months now, and they've now pretty much like canceled. Like Stadia had like a 3-month free trial, but now it's all over for like a bunch of people who signed up like day one.
Mm-hmm.
And so now anyone who's bought it, like bought the Stadia Pro trial, will have to pay a $10 subscription every month to continue playing all of the old games that Stadia has. Like Stadia has games from like years ago and whatnot. Like their most recent game is Destiny 2. And like even for Destiny 2, it's like the the base version, which people still had to like pay for pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have to pay for the premium to even play Destiny 2, even though it's free on everything.
So like it's kind of like PlayStation Plus, where if you get like each month, PlayStation Plus has a free game or 2 free games, and you can get those games. But once your PlayStation Plus membership runs out, you can't play those games.
Yeah, same with
It's
Xbox.
It's pretty much the same thing, except Google costs more because it's like, again, $10 a month. So there's 12 months in the year, so that's $120 a year.
Yeah, for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing.
Yeah,
there's no games. They're paying $120 for nothing for right now, except for Destiny. And people who are hardcore Destiny fans are kind of upset about this, because it's like, oh, so I now am forced to stay locked with this thing to continue playing Destiny, and then they also have to pay for expansions.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you've paid for the expansions, you're kind of screwed. Like if you don't want this system, or don't want the $10 a month version, because like Google's currently working on a free version, but for some reason they decide to just start with their paid version instead of having the two available. Like it's like their system is still in a beta, but they decide to release it officially. And now that the 3-month period's over, people now have to pay with no option of a free version.
Yep. And I just think the idea of having to pay to play Destiny 2, a free to play game, now is just absurd.
Yeah.
You look at you compare the GeForce Now and the Stadia. It's just like, well, at least GeForce tried to go big. Stadia's not even trying.
Yeah.
Like, at least they tried to get all these companies. What's Stadia doing? Sitting on their ass getting mobile type games and saying, look, we released a new game. Well, they don't fucking count. If every single game you're going to be like, oh, well, new games are coming, and then you release some stupid fucking bullshit that no one wants to play, that doesn't count. No one fucking cares. You don't get to count that as, look, we are releasing games. Those games are shit. No one wants to play those released games that are worth something.
Yeah, like, they're releasing games that no one wants to play, and the only one game they have is now locked behind a $10 wall a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like they have no other games because like it's been 3 months since this thing is like released, and they have less than 40 games.
Yeah, they basically have Destiny and Tomb Raider.
Yeah, like, and a lot of people are upset because it's like, again, they promised that there would be more games, where like consoles like the xCloud have more than 80 games. Like xCloud has more than 80 games and is still in beta. And they're all free. Like, their games are all free. Yeah. And that sounds a lot more appealing than, like, Google Stadia.
Yeah.
And so, like, people are seeing the cracks. Like, why would we go for this when we could just go for something else where we don't even have to pay for it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid. Google's really fucking this up. It was dead.
Yeah.
I called it being dead on arrival before it released.
Yeah, and they don't like Destiny was their system seller if you didn't have a Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah, but like, who the fuck is buying a Google fucking Stadia over an Xbox One and a PS4? Fuck, I'd buy a $2,000 PC before I buy this piece of shit Stadia.
like there has been nothing that like would grab people other than the fact that it's something new.
Yeah, how much does a Google Stadia cost?
Let me check.
I got this, everyone. Good content,
Okay.
good content. Maybe I don't have it. Whammy, no whammy. Stop. I don't fucking know. It's like a controller. It comes with a controller. The service will cost $10 per month to give players the ability to play Stadia titles. That doesn't tell me jack shit.
Yeah, I can't even find it.
Yeah, whatever. It costs the price. A price it
Well,
costs.
if you get the Founders Edition, it costs $130.
$130 plus $120 a year.
Yeah, $130 for hardware starter kit with 3 months of premium service for free, and then $10 a month afterwards.
Fuck that! I am not buying that stupid thing. I'll just buy 2 games, really. And you tell me, do you want a Google Stadia or do you want to buy the Final Fantasy VII remake and The Last of Us 2? I will take the Google Stadia controller and throw it into the garbage, and I'll be like, give me those 2 PS4 games, or well, it could be one of them's an Xbox. No, they're both PS4 games. Give me those 2 PS4 games. If you buy your ad, give me a PS4 because I'll pay fucking extra, so I don't have to pay this piece of fucking shit. And you need to have really good internet. So not only if you buy a Stadia not knowing that, you will go home, you will turn it on with your terrible internet, you'll realize you just bought a fucking paperweight, and then you'll put it on a piece of paper because that's about what it's good for. I mean, the lag in it is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can rant on Stadia all day. I'm happy we did this.
Yeah. And like it doesn't get any better because like features that they promised like months ago before this thing even released hasn't even been like added yet. Like they don't have family sharing, so like if you get it for console, I believe you can't like put it on anything else because you can play Stadia on your phone too.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have family sharing. They don't have iOS support. They don't have the hardware-free subscription option. They don't have any like social features. So like you can't talk to people online or anything.
Yeah.
So imagine that you're playing Destiny 2, you can't even talk to people.
Yeah, well, maybe it's because even Google knows that if you buy a Stadia and you main a Stadia, then maybe you're a loser. Yeah. What? I'm just kidding. Maybe.
Games don't come with a 4K mode, even though that's what a lot of people want. The Google Stadia doesn't even have Google Assistant. Everything has Google Assistant. Like, are you kidding me? Every Android has Google Assistant. You could look at your phone and be like, oh, okay, Google, and Google Assistant will come up.
Yeah.
But the Stadia doesn't, because reasons. It's like the one Google product that doesn't have it.
Let me know if you can hear this. Wait, come on. Hi, Google. Damn it, it didn't say anything. Fucking bitch! Anyway.
Sorry, everyone who's listening to this out loud. Your phone probably just woke up or something.
She was supposed to talk, you know? She's just like, I'm going to stay quiet this time because you want me to talk. Fuck you.
And here's my favorite part. Their controllers, they don't have wireless support. So people have to play with a controller that has a wire.
Yeah.
So imagine that, like
get wrapped up in it, and then all of a sudden you're accidentally hanging yourself because you bought a Stadia.
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion. Don't do that, people.
Please don't do that.
There's better stuff. And so once you sign, like Google Stadia is a lot like Amazon or PlayStation for that matter,
Mhm.
where like once you're signed up, like you have to like manually turn down the service. So like it'll just keep going. It'll just keep subscribing you to the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you've already made this mistake. You have to remember to unmake your mistake.
And
And a lot of people get caught up in that. A lot of people don't even think about it. So like each month, it's like, oh, they get that charge. It's like, oh yeah, I still need to cancel that, and then they'll just forget because they're not somewhere that they can just cancel it.
And they're not the only service that does that. Everyone does that.
Yeah, like everyone does that, but like it's just something else to like add on.
Yeah.
And a lot of customers, especially on like Reddit, have just been like pissed that they're being treated this way. And it's like they kind of have a reason why.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like Destiny 2, the base version is free for most consoles now.
Yep.
Like PlayStation just had Destiny 2 free like a couple months back.
It's free to play now.
Yeah, like, and that's the sad part. Like the base version is free.
Yeah, but
so Google Stadia doesn't even have anything special about it except for their new games.
And the PS4, if the PS4 is not even that expensive anymore, like if you want to play, if your whole thing is playing Destiny, you can buy a PS4 and you can play it for free, and you don't have to, or an Xbox for that matter, and then you don't have to pay $10 a fucking month to pay for a piece of shit controller that no one fucking wants.
Yeah. A wired controller. That's the worst part.
Yeah. Yeah. Google,
and
you're better.
To be honest, you're better off saving, like, if you're going to get this Founders Pack, you're better off saving your $130. And then each month, save $10. Yeah. And by the time the PlayStation 5 comes out, you'd probably be halfway to paying for the thing.
Yeah, and Google didn't put any thoughts in this. Google's better than this. Google has the money to do this. The issue is they never made a console, and they never done anything like this, so they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So they're like, I'm going to shit this thing out, and people are going to fucking buy it because people love games. Gamers definitely don't like to bitch.
And Google's response from this is like, it's literally just the everything is fine picture where everything's on fire and the dog's like, everything is fine.
Yeah.
Because that's the exact, they believe they can come back from this. Like, this is just a bump, but they're okay with it.
But it isn't like, a bump. If this was the PS5 or even the Xbox, because Xbox can survive the bump that was the Xbox One because they're established and they have a lot of money. This is a new fucking console. You fuck up on the first one, and you might as well fucking forget it. Like, this thing was dead when it launched. So it's fine thing, it's not fine, you morons.
Yeah, like, this does not make cloud gaming look good at all.
No.
And now this, like, paired with, like, the whole GeForce stuff, like, I don't know, cloud gaming cannot get this right.
Yeah. But I mean, that being said, if you have an Xbox or whatever, if you have a computer, choose your GeForce Now, choose your xCloud. Don't give Stadia the time of day, because right now they don't care about you, so why should you care about them? And like I said, Nvidia is at least trying, even though they're losing a lot of games, and that's its own issue. But they still have other things. They've lost.
At least they still have games.
They've lost
that people want to play.
They've lost like 5 publishers, and they probably still have more games than Google Stadia. Nvidia doesn't need the cloud service to succeed. They want it to succeed. Google should want this way more, but instead everybody else is trying way harder, and Google's just saying everything's good. It's not good, you fucking morons. I'll go off the deep end.
And to go back on something, like, so they're talking about how, like, they're gonna announce 120 games.
Yeah.
But, like,
what does it matter if the games are garbage?
They don't even know what games they're gonna add, because they're leaving it up to, like, these game developers to come to Google to put their game on there. So it's like they're waiting for, like, guys like Bethesda and all that to come to them.
And they're not going to.
It's like, why would they do that? Like, if you're showing no, like, energy, like, no motivation to go out and seek these games, like why would they come to you?
Yeah.
Because you know they're just going to sell on other systems, so it's like they have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, Bethesda can't even figure out how to play a fucking game. They're not going to come to you or try. Bethesda doesn't even know how to make a fucking game these days. So I don't think they're going to come to you to try to take their. That could be a match made in heaven. Take your failing game and put it on your failing console.
Yeah,
Man,
but yeah, like it's they're so confused in their whole thing. Like they're clearly, this is their first endeavor and they're messing up so hard, and that's why I say like all like these other streaming companies are learning from Google's mistakes.
Yeah. They don't understand gamers. I said that you can kind of see it with Google through YouTube, that they don't understand gamers. They kind of throw gamers on YouTube to the side. They're like, we don't care about these people. We care about our Conan O'Briens and all this. Like, they don't actually know what gamers want. They don't care what gamers want. They're just putting stuff out, and they're like
they saw something that they could capitalize on.
You're going to buy this because we're Google and you're going to buy it. Well, guess what? There's one thing you didn't factor in, and that's that gamers are the most fickle motherfuckers you'll ever fucking see, and they're not going to just buy your shit just because you release it. It's most of them.
You know, this system is made for the grandmas who want to get their grandchild something.
Yes.
And their grandchild's like, I want the new Xbox. And so she goes to the store, she sees the price of the Xbox, she's like, oh, that costs too much. I like this Google Stadia thing.
Yeah, and they do stuff to prey on people in certain ways. But yeah, I mean, that used to be a big thing for your movie license games. People would go to the store and be like, oh, my son really likes Spider-Man. I'll buy him the Amazing Spider-Man 2, the video game. Guess what? I own that fucking game. No one else should.
I own that game. I didn't completely hate it.
Well, it wasn't good. Did you play
it
again?
I also really love Spider-Man.
I'm saying, play it again.
Yeah. I also really love Spider-Man, so I'm coming at it with a terrible viewpoint.
Yeah, but I played PS4 Spider-Man. It's going on right now on my channel. But
watch.
Yeah, I mean, go back and now play it. Actually, it's the first Amazing Spider-Man, the one with that one guy. But anyway, that is good.
Yeah.
You got more?
No, I was just gonna say, Google's fucking up.
Yeah, Google.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, I think we gotta.
Google somehow made it to be not worse than Xbox. Didn't think it was possible.
And
Xbox actually did good.
Yeah,
I'm proud of Xbox. They won one today for me.
There's some faith there. There's a couple good. There's a couple good things. Even though I don't know
what the fuck. It shows that they care about games. They just don't care about actually making exclusives.
Yeah, which I think with them it was like, oh, we don't actually have the people to make exclusives. That's why they started buying companies. They had Rare though, which they fucked that up. Anyways, we had our first rant of the news podcast.
Woo.
Not keep in mind, but that could be happening with reviews. If I run into a game like The Quiet Man, it's on. 100%.
We will one day, well, not one day, we will in the future probably have a Bandai day.
Oh, no.
So be prepared for that, people.
I'm scared.
Because, again, Bandai is releasing 3 games within a month. And that is the time for us to just cut loose. I've already bought 2 previous Bandai games to go into the next one.
Yeah.
Or next ones.
Yeah.
So I'm preparing for that.
I'm a little scared.
I'm a little scared too.
But a little excited. But a little broke. Anyway,
I get this warm feeling in the bottom of my cockles.
Okay, we're gonna leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching the news podcast this week. We'll be back next week for fun stuff. And until then, we could have some reviews going up. And when the reviews start getting big, if there may be a week or two, we're gonna hope not. We're gonna try to get out. It may not be on. It may not be early in the week like normal, but we'll try to get a news video out. If not, there are reviews rolling your way, especially through March and into April. It gets ridiculous, so look out for that. There should be some stuff coming soon over the next few weeks that we're really excited about. So you guys watch out for that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we will talk to you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Watch me